up next, we have Billy with his presentation, 14 years of Linguifex. How did we get here, and what now?
Thank you. Which one is it? The big one. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Yep, that's the correct distance. We'll see if the slides come up, or I'll have to improvise on the fly. It's fun to be here. It's my first LCC. So, yep. Ooh. And there we go. Yeah, Linguifex, 14 years. Yay. Cool. So let's see, I'll stand here. Yeah, so yeah, what now is the name of my talk, but it was actually a bit longer. I just cut it down for the slide. How we got here and where we're going is really the point. So a bit about me. I'm Billy. I'm from Stockholm, Sweden. I'm a software programmer at this open source company called Red Pill Pro. I'm 33 years old. I've been using a computer since I was 4. Big dork energy. A long time ago, I was part of the LCS board, and I loved reading sci-fi and fantasy as a kid. I still do, just don't find as much time anymore. And I run Linguifex under the title of Chrysophilix. And yeah, what is Linguifex? Not everyone knows, maybe. I think a few of you know, since a few of you have languages up there. I see the hands. But for the rest, it's a wiki. A bit like FrathWiki or Conlang Wikia or many others. Conlang Fandom, I think they're called now. But yeah, it's built on MediaWiki and on originally the LAMP stack, which powers like 90% of the world's top 10 websites. Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. And yeah, this is how Linguifex looks as of like last week when I took this screenshot. So we have a featured language, we have a featured picture, some quick links. It's just a wiki, basically. And yeah, it's pretty fun. So, quick history. We founded it, I founded it in October 2012. Originally because I was tired of ads. So Conlang Wikia had really heavy ads at this period. They were under new management. You can really find lots of fun articles about it, about their new venture capitalists who decided to really make money of fandoms. And they really intensified the ads and the skins and a lot of things. And I got kind of fed up trying to edit my stuff and getting pop-up ads. And I went, you know what? I know computers, I think. I should be able to do something about this. And yeah, I made it originally home for my own conlangs. I was going to move them all there instead of using Google Docs documents because I keep losing track of my Google accounts. And I decided, you know, it's going to be open source and free and woo. But how did I even get there? Well, it all started with Wikia. I was actually conworlding before. So Wikia or fandom had a conworld wiki. And I was there with a friend, and we were like, you know, like 13 years old, doing little stories about random stuff. And we were quite active at one point, doing a lot of edits. We were having fun, you know, on paper at home, and then we would, you know, upload it and write it down so we could refer to it. And this moderator, Golden Eagle, said, "Hello, dude, I do not know, but would you like to adopt a conlang? That wiki is a sister." And I was like, what? Wiki of this conlang? But conlang looks so abandoned. Maybe some people from here would like to check that wiki. And this was one of the staff members who thought that the conlang wikia had no active moderation. And they decided to go to the nearest nerds, they thought, Conworld nerds. I was also making like language taxonomies on Conworld. So, and I was like, wait, there's a wiki for conlangs specifically? I was 15 and very excited. So yeah, I went to Conlang Wikia. Very fun place. I made my first real conlang, as I call it, where I tried to make something that had like a grammar beyond just a naming language. Met some nice people in the chats. But yeah, the ads were terrible. And I had used LangMaker before, you know, back when it was alive. And I thought, that was a good website. If only there was something like LangMaker with no ads and something. And I didn't know about FrathWiki. I'd missed it. And so I decided to translate LangMaker to Latin, since I was taking that in high school, and into Linguifex, and registered it on a Monday. And yeah, picking a stack. I was a bit techie, but I didn't have money. classic kid situation. And I always like free and open source software, because it's free originally, but then from the conviction that it's a better way to build technology. And I already had run a bit of PHP stuff for myself because I was a dorky kid. And I loved Wikipedia. I love encyclopedias. Like, I grew up with Microsoft Encarta, and I was like, I need more. And then Wikipedia showed up, and I was like, this is the best thing on earth. I love it. So for that reason, I was like, I'm going to build my own wiki with Blackjack and, Bender. And I was like, I'll use MediaWiki, the same software as Wikipedia. I'll figure it out. How hard can it be? Surprisingly hard. But yeah, there's a quick timeline then. So Conlang Wiki had a fork as well, because I think part of the ads, some fighting between admins. I just arrived. I was like, huh? And they forked into something called, there was a service called Wiki, which was a wiki farm hostage, but I think they went bankrupt like at the same time. So they had a huge problem, like the community that forked over there. And I just started Linguifex. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to use this nice almost free shared hosting that doesn't cost much. And one of the admins pinged me and said, hey, that link you sent me to your private site that you just set up, like, does it work? I'm like, yeah, I think so. He's like, could we move in there? I was like, I had to quickly look up, how do you add user permissions to MediaWiki, because I only had one user. And it worked. I told them, yeah, sure, come over. And I made them all admins. And then I just focused on my own little niche. And 1 year later, they started something called a Contionary. They started making Wiktionary style posts. And they asked me, could you add support for this? And then I had to learn about MediaWiki namespaces. So it's been a long journey of learning how this software works. And back in 2016, I got a real job as a programmer. And I had real money. So we moved to a cloud provider instead of that cheapo shared hosting to make it a bit faster. And in 2018, we had 1,000 articles, language articles. That's pretty fun. Here it is. Here's the 1,000th article. It's quite short, but it's someone who has a language family. So a lot of articles are a bit smaller. They're about daughter languages, branches, but usually people have one big or two, three big languages that they work on, and then a lot of smaller ones. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. I learned about this last month when I was looking this up. I'm like, what was the 1,000th language? In 2020, we upgraded. Finally, that cheapo $10 VPS I was renting was not enough, and we had to upgrade to the $20 one. And the site got much faster for a short while. And then we got a Discord, because we used to have a chat function on the website that was IRC-based. It was very bad. Did not work very well. But Discord's pretty good, despite being closed source. And we hit 2,000 articles back in 2023. And if you've heard of Benjamin Paul Johnson, who's made Brooding and a few other languages, he made Europic. And that was actually the 2,000 articles. He was surprised to find out. It's quite big. Europishu, yeah, it's pretty cool. And earlier this year, we moved to the EU, because we've been hosted in the UK. So we moved to the UK when they were in the EU, then the UK left the EU. Kind of bad situation, but it's a volunteer effort, and moving the site completely to a new hosting provider and setting up infrastructure is a bit tough. And running costs. So talking about infrastructure, right? How much does it cost to run one of these sites? And how much does it cost the human? Yeah, so this is what it used to cost back in 2012 when I started it. I had a real job, and I was like, wow, I can pay for this forever. I'll never need to spend more money. But that was when I planned it for myself. This is how much it costs right now. So right now, it's still pretty decent, but the costs are, rising a bit. And this is partially because we locked in a good price for the next year. We're going to have a big price jump because of inflation that's affecting the data center providers. But this is like a prepaid deal for a whole year, so it's a pretty good price. And most of it I pay out of my own pocket, but there's 8% donations, and that increased like literally yesterday. Guilty over there. So people donate either on LibrePay, which is sort of crowdfunding site, or on Ko-fi. I had some issues with LiberaPay's interface for a while, so I've changed the link if people want to give a bit of gold to Ko-fi, but it's the same. Yeah, thank you everyone who both contributes by being a user. We have a lot of admins who do all the free work. We have moderators who ban bots and report them, because that's a huge problem. Surprisingly, if you run a wiki, people are trying to sell Viagra all the time on pages about Latin. It's just like, it's like, okay, I guess we can translate that. We have a few Discord moderators, really nice, and people who have donated before and are donating right now. My heart beats for you, and bad Proto-Indo-European there. Kermoi tudeti. Thank you, everyone. And that was past and present. So what are we doing like for the future? So one big thing was improving performance. We've been struggling, the site has been struggling heavily with CPU utilization lately. And actually, we fixed it like 2 days ago. I fixed it. I found out it was bots. We were being scraped by Amazon, ChatGPT, TikTok, ByteDance, and a botnet from Pakistan. We're getting 20,000 requests per minute. I don't know why, but apparently conlangs are very, very, very interesting to bots. And it's like ByteDance had like a reach out if you don't like us scraping you at 500 requests per second. It's like, it's insane. So we banned all of them. And I've installed Anubis that judges your connection. So this actually, it works now. But we still have the issue with the database that's full of so many revisions of banned articles that's piling up. So, I mean, it's not a big problem, but it should be fixed. And at one point, MediaWiki had a big exploit for musical scores. So for a while, Linguifex actually had actual scores that could be played on websites where people wrote con music in their languages. Really fun, but unfortunately, the program that was used is not secure, and you could probably kill the whole website if you're a really mean hacker. So we had to disable it, like on the fly when the email went out to the security list for MediaWiki. And there is a way around it, but it's quite tricky to set up. And yeah, I do most of the maintenance work on Linguifex between 3 and 5 a.m. on like weekdays. And then I go to work like this. They're like, oh, I had a tough night. I'm like, in some ways, but it was fun. And another thing is what I call increasing revenue. Like, I can pay for it. It's fine. But if we had more money, maybe I could hire someone to help me. Or anything like, right now, everything is fully 100% volunteers. So everyone who's on our Discord, everyone who does, bot removals, everything, is just people who give their time freely. And, we're staying advertisement free. That's not up for grabs, I'll never do that. I hate ads. But maybe merchandise? Would someone like a lemur on a hoodie? I don't know. I was looking at it. It's kind of cute. It's a... Yeah, it's like, I like it. It has, lemurs start with L. That's the reason I picked it. Lemurs are great. And, of course, another point is community engagement, right? So I know there are Linguifex people both here and on Discord, but I've only met like 3 ever. So maybe we could have like a flanker event to an LCC in the future so people can go and they can directly complain to me about what doesn't work in addition to the Discord. And also Linguifex is not that commonly used in the conlang community. And I'm guessing maybe it's usability. The site's not that fun to use for people who aren't used to it. So it'd be nice to actually talk to people. That's a goal we have going forward, to maybe communicate. I'm putting poor Nicolas up there to do it. He's one of those volunteers. And open governance / bus factor. So from the programming world, we talk about the bus factor, which is what happens if I get run over by a bus. How does the project survive? Right, but it's very grim, but it's kind of true. Like, I tend to look, but, sometimes I might be listening to music. You never know. Or I might be thinking I shall express the accusative by a prefix. So you got to be careful. So right now, I have the keys, and I've deposited one of them in a backup, but that was to the old site. So, so the site is backed up. There are external backups done all the time. But to manage the website itself, right now, if I got unfortunately run over and couldn't give people my passwords to my keys, people would have to basically start over by re-importing all the articles instead of continuing directly. So open governance, if anyone knows technology and also likes wikis and thinks it's fun to run these things, it would be fun to at least share the keys. You know, we could do Shamir's secret key sharing so we can all unlock together. And yeah, those are the three things we're looking forward to. And of course, 3,000 articles. We're not that far, I think. It's like 300 left. And that's it. It's very short because Q&A. Any questions?
Thank you for the talk. I'm interested to know if you ever get spam in conlangs.
Sorry, spam what?
Written in a conlang.
Oh, I think actually we had one bot. So a lot of the bots work by reading what's on the page. And we had closed submissions at one point for new accounts, so they had to be manually reviewed. Most of them were bots. And one of them had gone, "Here is my conlang," and it was like Tiger Cialis or something. I was like, and, you know, I had this moment of doubt going, is someone joking? Because we do have a conlang called clofabosin that someone wrote, which is basically meant to sound like generic medicine names, which is pretty cool. And I was like, is this someone who read that and is making a joke, or is it a bot? And then there was a URL to like, you know, .ru, you know, I'm like, ah. So there's been ones where I thought maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Look up clofabosin. It's really cool. CLOFABOSIN. So like a generic medication. Really, as much as, yeah, that's pretty fun. Any more questions? I guess you can all go to lunch then. Nah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Billy.